received from client side?
For on error continue, it will give a 200, and in case of on error propagates, it will give 500.
Okay, fine. And at how many stages error handling is done?
In 4 stages, error handling can be done in Mulesoft. First is on process level, second one is flow level, third one is application level or global level, fourth one is default error handler. Mulesoft have inbuilt error handler that is called default error handler.
Okay, can you explain this default error handler?
Suppose in a flow, error happens, and error handling is not present even on process level or application level or flow level. And that time, Mulesoft that handle that error with the help of default error handler.
Okay, very good. And what is the flow level error handler?
Flow level error handler can be done with the help of on error continue or on error propagates if error occur in a flow.
Okay. And tell me how application level error handler is set up.
Suppose we want that error need to be handled in a single place. That time we use application level error handler or global level error handler. For that we register in a global element also.
Okay. And
Yes.
can you name some routers?
Twice router, scatter gather router, API kit router.
Okay, what is the choice router?
Choice router is used for routing message to any one route dramatically based on true condition. If any of the route get failed, it will go from default route. Otherwise, it will go from first route.
Okay. And can you name some scopes?
Yes, ma'am. On error continue, on error propagates for each scope, batch scope, until successful scope, cache scope.
What is cache scope?
Cache scope is used for storing frequently used data in a memory card.
And what is the advantage?
Its availability, no time delay, and it also improves application performance.
Okay, fine. Okay, can you tell me the difference between like for each and parallel for each?
Yes, ma'am. For each scope, process record sequentially, parallel for each scope, process record parallelly. For each scope doesn't change or input output is same. In case of parallel for each scope, it's an aggregate of each iteration value. For each scope, count variable is available. For parallel for each scope, count variable is not available.
Okay. Okay, there is one more point you should add that the for each has a single thread, but parallel for each has multiple threads for processing. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay. Okay, can you explain the three phases in batch processing?
yes, ma'am. Batch processing can be done with the help of batch job scope in Mulesoft. Batch job basically used in three important scenarios: migration of a large volume of record or data from one system to another system, to process large record or message, or ETL kinds of work and job. It works in three phases: load and dispatch. In this phase, it breaks the payload and upload record in a queue and send for next batch step processing. Second phase, on progress record phase. In this phase, batch step receive record from queue and do the processing and send back to the queue for the next batch step processing. This will be continued until the all batch will complete their processing. And the final or third stage is a on complete process phase. In this phase, statistical report are made where how many record processed and how many succeed and how many fail are mentioned.
Okay. And what are the acceptance policies in the batch steps?
There are three acceptance policy: no failure, only failure, or all.
Okay.
In case of
Now,
no failure, yes, ma'am.
yes, continue.
In case of no failure, then batch job will process those record that succeed to process in a previous batch step. In only failure, that batch record will process those record that fail to process in previous batch step processing. And all means that batch step will process all the record, even if some of the record get failed in batch step processing, in previous batch processing.
Okay, fine. And can you explain what is until successful scope?
Until successful scope is used for retry mechanism. When we need to connect with data where data fetching is essential with the unstable system or server.
And okay, fine. Can you name some data web functions?
Yes, ma'am. Max function, min function, is, even, is, or, flatten, size of, type of, filter function, order by, group by, distinct by, join by, split by, now function, map object function,
Okay.
reduce
And
function.
what is the use of reduce function?
Reduce function is used to accumulate the value in an array.
Okay. And what is the use of map function?
Map function is used to use when we need to change item in array.
Okay. And can you tell me something about this mask function?
Yes. Marks function is used when in a given payload when we need to that if there is a password and if we want to change that one in a star, that time we use marks function, and that payload will be marks with and in a bracket, and that if you want to convert that value, suppose the password is 123, and if you want to convert it in star, then we will give a 3 star in that bracket, small bracket. Also, we will take the help of function import a star from dw and dw, and it will be just value something. I can't recall it right now.
Okay, that's fine. You almost went there. It is a import star from
Yeah.
dw double colon util double colon values. It is.
Yes,
You should also mention that the point that this mask function is not a core function. That's why we have to import it from the library. Okay. I'm
yes.
glad that you handled very quickly this random question, and
Thank you.
that's very good. And okay, can you tell me what is the use of now function?
Now function is used for current time value.
Okay, and how can we add like 2 days in the current date?
Now a small bracket plus pi p 2 day pi.
Okay, fine. Okay, Naushad, I'm done from my side. Do you have any question?
No, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Hello, Amman.
Yes, ma'am.
Start with your introduction.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, thank you for giving me opportunity to introduce myself. So my name is Sheikh Aman and I did my mechanical engineering from Purnia College of Engineering, Purnia in 2022. So that's all about me. Thank you.
Okay. What is Mulesoft?
Mulesoft is a integration platform which is used for connecting website and applications.
Okay. And what is Anypoint Studio?
Anypoint Studio is a integrated development environment, a combination of compiler, server, and editor to provided by Mulesoft to uh, development and deploy Mule applications.
Okay. And how error handling is done in Mulesoft?
Error handling is done in Mulesoft by using two scopes. First is on error continue and on error propagate.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference?
On error continue suppress the error while on error propagate delegates the error. In on error continue, uh, processor send error to the on error continue and on error continue send successful result. On error continue process this message and finally send successful result with 200 code. While on error propagate in processors throw error to the on error propagate and on error propagate process this error and finally rethrow the error with 500 code.
Okay. And at how many stages error handling is done?
There are three stages. First is processor level, second is flow level, and third is global or application level.
Okay. And suppose inside a flow you are not doing any error handling, and what happens if any error occurs?
Then default uh, error handling used for removing this error.
Okay. And okay, fine. Can you name some connectors?
Uh, Connectors are HTTP request connector, file connector, mail connector. That's all.
Okay, what is the file connector?
File connector is used to read and write data on file.
Okay. Can you name some routers?
Router are choice router and scatter gather.
Okay, what is scatter gather?
Scatter gather router is used to send message uh, used to don't know ma'am.
Okay, fine. And can you explain choice router?
Choice router is used for send message to anyone to dynamically based on true condition. It uh, it write condition we write condition in when choice router works on a sequence manner. In a single thread, it send message to in a single thread, it check condition from top to bottom. The first two condition made by choice router, it send message to that router. If all when condition are false, then it send message to default route.
Okay, very good. Can you name some scopes?
Scopes are try scope, for each scope, bad job, and until until successful and on error continue and on error propagate.
Okay. And can you tell me the difference between for each and batch job?
In for each scope, there are different are yes ma'am. When for each scope, in for each scope, small amount of data sets are processed by for each scope, while in batch batch job, a large amount of data sets are uh, processed by batch scope, and in uh, for each scope, error handling done by processor level. In batch scope, error handling is done in batch level. The time consumption of for each scope is less than batch job because for each scope handle for each scope process a small amount of data, and for each scope is not applicable for processor transaction management processor, while batch job is applicable for transaction management.
Okay, very good. And can you tell me the three phases in batch processing?
uh, there are three phases are load, dispatch, process record, and on complete stage.
Okay, can you explain them?
In load dispatch phase, data load or dispatch from queue to the batch step, and batch in second step, batch step process this data or message and send to the queue, and this queue finally send report.
Okay, and what is on complete phase?
In on complete phase, it send report, not successful, not fail.
Okay, fine. And have you studied about this parallel for each scope?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me something about caching?
Yes, caching is used for containing frequently using data.
Okay. And can you tell me the advantages?
Advantage are availability and smooth experience of new applications.
Okay. And what is until successful scope?
Until successful scope is a retry mechanism which is used to uh, retry the retry for error applications.
Okay, fine. Can you name some database functions?
Database function are on a database function are latent function, filter function, map object, reduce function, split by, join by, and max min mod, etc.
Okay. Can you tell me a function that is used to call a private flow from database?
Uh, Lookup function used for call private flow.
Okay, and the structure?
Structure lookup in bracket inverted comma private flow name comma payload comma time in millisecond.
Okay. And can you tell me how can we read current date and time?
By using now function.
Okay. And what is the use of reduce function?
Reduce function used to accumulate data from data in array.
Okay. Okay, Aman, I'm done from my side. Do you have any question?
No, man, thank you.
Okay. Hello, Amir. Good afternoon. Start with your introduction.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Mohammad Amir Khan and I am from Pune, Bihar. I have completed my BTech in Computer Science from India Institute of Technology in 2020. And after that, I started learning Mulesoft and now I'm a certified Mulesoft developer.
Okay. And what is Anypoint Studio?
Basically, Anypoint Studio is an IDE which is provided by Mulesoft for developing and deploying Mule application locally.
Okay. And what is a mule message structure?
Yeah, Mule message structure contains uh, payload and attributes and error.
Okay.
It
And
is part of a Mule event.
okay, very good. What is the difference between a private flow and a subflow?
Yes, ma'am. Private flow has three parts: source, process, and error handling part. But when you don't keep anything in source part, it's called private flow. While subflow it don't have error handling and source part, it has only process part.
Okay. Can you name some connectors?
Yes, ma'am. HTTP request connector, mail connector, file connector, Java connector, Salesforce connector, JMS connector, web service consume connector.
Okay. What is the HTTP request connector?
Okay. We use it when we need to connect with API or system from where to get or push data.
Okay. And can you name some routers?
Twice router and scatter gather or API key to router.
What is scatter gather router?
Scatter gather is used to send message to each route simultaneously, and each route pushes message parallelly on the different threads, and finally it finally choice order finally scatter they collect message from each root, and suppose if anyone would get failed, then choice order will process remaining root, and finally choose the error. And we will apply try scope with on error continue to suppress the error.
Okay, very good. And how error handling is done in Mulesoft?
Yes, ma'am. We can, with the help of two scope, we can handle error in Mulesoft. One is on error continue, and other is on error propagate.
Okay, what is the difference?
Yes, ma'am. In on error continue, suppose a flow through the error, and then on error continue, it receives the error and execute the processor, and finally read through the error, which is 200 status code. And while on error propagate, suppose a flow through the error, on error propagate receive the error and execute the processor, and it read through the error and finally sends the error response, which is 500 status code.
Okay, fine. Okay, can you tell me some scopes?
Okay. Try scope, for each scope, parallel for each scope, async, and on a continue, on a propagate error handler, and cache scope.
Okay. Can you tell me the difference in for each and bad job?
Yes, ma'am. For each scope is used to process a small size of records, while batch job is used to process a large number of records. And in for each, it works on it works on single threads, and uh, batch job is batch job scope is worked on multiple threads, because it has 16 threads by default. And in for each, when we if we create a variable in for each, then after processing a variable will be modified, and when we create a variable in batch job, after processing it will be the same.
Okay. And what is the advantage of using this for each?
Okay. When we need to process a small size of records, then we can use for each scope.
Okay. And what is the advantage of batch job?
Batch job, when we need to process large number of records, like millions of records, then we need to then we use batch job to process a large number of records in minimum time. That
Can
most
you tell
advantage. Yes.
can you tell like on one or two disadvantage of this batch job?
Yes, sir. Uh, o- okay, well, suppose when we um, sorry, ma'am, that
Okay. So see, there is one major disadvantage is that it doesn't maintains the sequence of records. Okay, like one after another. So, have you studied about like to overcome this situation? Like I have to record millions of records. I have to process them, and I also want to maintain the sequence. So, is there any other thing to do that?
yes.
Did you studied about parallel for each?
Uh, no.
Okay, fine. So next day you will study more about it. And
Oh,
okay, can you tell me something about caching?
yes, ma'am. Caching is the process of storing frequently used data in memory, and we have cache scope in use of to do this.
Okay, and what are the advantages?
Advantages is like no time delay, and it improves the mule application performance.
Okay. Okay, can you tell some database functions?
Yes, ma'am. Flatten filter, map object, reduce, now, join by, distinct by, order by, split by, and is even, is odd, min, max.
what is the difference between map and map object?
In map function, map function take input as an array, and it iterates over items in array, and it sends it gives the output of also array. And while map object, it always take input as an object, and output is also object, and it iterates over key value pairs.
Okay. And what is the use of lookup function?
We use lookup function to call a private flow in database.
Okay. And what is the use of plug function?
We use plug function when we need to break or separate key value and key value pairs.
What is its input and output?
Input is object and output is array of object.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'm done from my side. Any question?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Hello, Rishikesh.